Welcome to the Mr. Olympia regular season finale, Day 2, Southwest Florida Sharks versus the South Beach Palms.
Oh, so we're on the grid getting it on right now. As you can see them getting those deadlifts up off the ground. The refs are looking for specific things. And remember that their partners have to stay in the hash box in order for these points to count. So as they progress down the grid, they have to be aware of everywhere they are and their surroundings.
That's right, Byram. Thank you so much for that. The last time that the South Beach Palms and the Southwest Florida Sharks met each other, it was last season. There was a little incident with former head coach Nick Shappy grabbing a player on the grid. It caused some rule book changes and everything. So I know that Briley Hansen, head coach and owner of the South Beach Palms, is particularly feeling this particular matchup. That was a little fault from Dyneer for not locking out his hips at the top of that rep, but Heather Hudson came in finishing off those real fast. They are a few reps behind the Sharks at this point.
Now, I like the energy that these two teams came out with this morning. There was no lagging around. They weren't just walking around, oh, I don't know how we're going to recover and get it done. They came out with fire, both teams, and it looks like that the Sharks are a little bit ahead right now of the Palms. Let's see if they can make up some ground over there.
Absolutely. They are absolutely crushing it. Once again, this match is worth double the points at the end of it, all right? So you're not necessarily going to see double the points as we go through this match, but at the end, let's say the Sharks win by 10, and just an example that I'm throwing out there, they would actually win by 20. So that would be 20 points added to their point differential. Meanwhile, the Palms would lose 10. Another fall from Dyneer for not locking out those hips at the end of those. That is crucial timing here. You got to make sure your partner's in the hash box. Those transitions take a long time, so any mess up here is really far. They are almost the Sharks are almost an entire quadrant ahead of the Palms here.
Yeah, they're following up just like they did in day one. A strong, strong team are the Sharks. And they're showing why they're formidable. In order for you to knock them off their box, you got to come with it. So the Palms do have some ground to make up in their quadrant.
Definitely, the Sharks look really comfortable in their lead here. Once again, I was talking to Sydney Witter just before the match started. She was really excited to do this partner forward, especially to show off her pistol skills. And man, they are amazing. She's a little bit on the taller side. So is Luis Guillermo for that matter. And they are absolutely crushing these. Here's Marcus Washington for the Palms. On the right side of your screen, Briley Hansen coming in. It looks like the Sharks are just 2 reps ahead of finishing ahead for the Sharks. The Palms almost an entire quadrant behind, and the Sharks are going to take that partner forward.
Oh, yeah, easy money for the Sharks. Getting the day started just like they did in day one. The team is hyped. You see them running down to congratulate one another. Let's see if the Palms can finish up strong. Again, this is not a sport where you can just give up, or you should. You want to accumulate as many points as possible.
Yeah, definitely. This is a very seasoned Southwest Florida Sharks team. We knew that going into the season. The Palms with their sports roster, unfortunately going through a lot of roster trouble, but they are going to finish within the time cap and get credit for that race. Unofficially, that score is 2 for the Sharks, 1 for the South Beach Palms.
Yeah, wait for the Palms to shake it off. They have great energy. As we saw yesterday, they have very, very strong metal inside. They're not going to give up. They're going to keep coming along, and let's see how they give it up in the next match.
Absolutely. So once again, unofficially, that score is going to be 2 for the Southwest Sharks, 1 for the South Beach Palms. The Palms are looking a little bit upset about something having to do with the standards, but I'm sure it'll be figured out. They're just trying to figure out and make sure that everything is fair. It looks like they're trying to stop some equipment, maybe a rerun, but in the meantime, I got my friend Sophia Davenport here. Sophia, how are you?
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Awesome, thank you. How did you feel yesterday competing?
It was a long day.
You absolutely crushed it on those, what was it, the back handsprings?
Yes, ma'am.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
How'd you feel about that? Were you confident going into that?
No, but I knew we needed it, so I just had to run.
As you should. I love that attitude. So, I hear that we have some very important news that you wanted to break to the United Grid Nation.
Yeah, so next season we'll have an extra team coming into the play, team out of Houston, Texas, and we'll have Grid. It's a new team out of state.
How exciting is that?
There's a lot. We're very excited. We've got home gym set up. Shout out to CrossFit Enoch. Thanks for having us. Yeah, the Houston area is popping. Like, they're ready. Yeah. They're ready.
So what's kind of your strategy for setting up your team? Is there something that you're thinking of doing a little bit differently? Because when I've spoken to people who are taking over teams in the past, they always have this attitude of I know what I can do better. I see this in my team, and I love my team, but there's just certain things that are missing, and I want that ring, right?
I think working with the Breakers this season in the position that I was in, I learned a lot from Matt Hornaday. Bringing up new talent is difficult sometimes, right? Because you're bringing people with different backgrounds and whatnot. I think really just open communication and like, this is a team, this is not individual.
Yeah.
Like, it's great that you can do all these things, but I just need you for 20 seconds and tag somebody in. And that's, I mean, it's a team element, right? So I don't want to reinvent the wheel. I just want to keep things moving, and like with the new rookies that'll come into grid and playing grid for the first time, teaching. So it'll be a lot more teaching. I may not be on the grid as much because I'll be on the sidelines, like with all the little moving pieces. So I'm not looking to change anything or reinvent anything. Just looking to bring in new people.
Got that. I love that. And I love how it seems like you obviously have passion for the sport. Of course you do. Of course you have to love it to even like, you know, put in as much effort as all these head coaches do to have a team. Is there anything, I know that you said you'd probably be on the sidelines for most of it, but is there anything in grid, like a certain element that if there were a chance to do it, that you would be like, yes, that's all me?
Pistols, back handsprings.
That's it. I like
Those are my favorites.
I like it. Awesome. Is there anything else that you want to say about your team, Sophie?
No, so we also bringing in Carissa McKay. She's going to leave the booth side and come over and coach and help or like run the show with me. So that's exciting.
Very cool.
We were rookies together with Matt with Palm Beach Elite in 2019. So now we're going to be owners together and coaching together. So it's super exciting.
That's awesome. If you've ever seen a live grid event, you've probably seen Carissa. If you've seen her face, you know her.
Oh, for sure.
She's a big part of our community. Very thankful for her part and for your part. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Good luck with the rest of your team and good luck with your match today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and take it to that fourth camera. We'll be right back.
Mirror, the second race of every match, always features a barbell element. A male and a female barbell are placed in the first quadrant. Upon the start of the race, both are picked up by the team in any fashion by the 3 men and 3 women allowed in the race at any given time. Once the barbell leaves the ground, it may not touch the ground again until all reps are complete. If it does, the entire team must return to the start line before continuing. A set number of reps must be completed by both genders in each quadrant before the team can move on. Non-lifting players will act as the human rack to support the barbells as the team moves from quadrant to quadrant and switches performing players in the process as needed. Substitutions may happen at any time. Time stops when all reps are complete and the last player crosses the finish line. This strength-focused race has the most players on the grid at the same time and requires effective planning and practice to be executed well through coordination amongst players. Remember, don't drop the barbell in the mirror race.
This is how I ollie pump.
I really do love this stuff. It's been a game changer. We keep it at our house now. Highly recommended. It's really good.
Really good. Perfect.
Welcome back, party people. We're getting ready for that mirror. There's going to be a hang clean mirror. It's going to be 10 reps in every single quadrant. That men's weight is going to be 215 pounds. For the women, it's going to be 140 pounds. Byram, tell me a little bit about mirror.
Well, we're going to have 2 teams on each quadrant facing each other like a mirror, right? So whatever you do, I can do better. We're going to see it straight, no chaser, right? We see what the hand cleans are. What you see is what you're going to get. You just have to be the fastest and the strongest getting down the grid in this particular mirror match. That's
right, Byram. And they use human racks to bring people down the grid. So this is definitely a fun one. A lot of communication involved. A lot of, you know, strategy. lot of volume, so it's going to be a fun one to watch. In case you're wondering what happened with the last match, the reps do remain. There was some kind of dispute about the way that reps were done, but it wouldn't have affected the outcome of the race because of how far the difference was. It was a difference of almost 30 seconds, so they decided since it wouldn't affect the outcome of the race, it was all good. So we are just moving on to this mirror. No rerun necessary for that partner forward.
And also keep in mind with the mirror, these barbells, as they move down the quadrant, they cannot touch the ground or else they will have to start over and the reps will not count. So very important. Transitions from quadrant to quadrant is very important.
That's right. Once again, Southwest Florida Sharks versus South Beach Palms. This race is worth double the points at the end towards the point differential to see who goes to the playoffs.
Stand by.
All right, we have Brielle Macchiarelli and Cody Rice for the South Beach Palms. That's Guillermo Nunez and Jenna Riddle over here for the Southwest Florida Sharks. They are really fast, all of them. Everybody moving down the grid at the same time. It's absolutely insane. Weird rack for Guillermo Nunez, but he was able to give it to Roderick Holloway very quickly as well. Sydney Witter with him. Jessica Placencia and Brandon Schipper for the South Beach Palms. These teams are almost neck and neck. Maybe the South Beach Palms a little bit closer ahead. We got to make sure these transitions are fast, because if we drop that barbell, the whole entire team has to run back to the start line before coming to pick it back up.
That's what I'm looking at, Cassie. In day one, we saw a few teams have problems with those transitions. Ooh, somebody almost got caught one in the face. As we can see, the Palms are a little bit ahead. This may be an upset this particular match.
Almost a drop from Jesse Coleman over here on the Southwest Florida Sharks. That's Gabriel Burns. This is his second match ever. Yesterday was his first with Briley Hansen. Very close here. One rep remaining for Burns. And the South Beach Palms take it against the
Great
Sharks.
win by the Palms. The Palms took that, right?
They sure did.
Nice win. And that is our point, folks. Yes, the Sharks are an amazing team, but don't sleep on the Palms. They're strong, they're fierce, and they're here to compete. They're not giving up.
Hey, one thing about the Palms, they're scrappy. They are going for
That's
it
the
no
word,
matter
scrappy.
what.
I like that.
You know it is. Yeah, they did not come to play, especially since they were able to practice with their team a little bit more yesterday, which is really important. Everybody has better team chemistry today, no doubt about that. Everybody was able to maybe strategize a bit as well. So going into this next one is going to be really exciting.
Yeah, not to harp on your point, Cassie, but the better you know your team, the longer you've been working together, the better you can strategize.
100%.
And you know what team, even down to the recovery. We've spoken about it in the beginning. Some players may not recover as well as others, so maybe you need to put certain players in positions to excel, and we're seeing that on the grid today.
Definitely, especially if you guys live in different places and things of that nature. Let's go ahead and see what we can look forward to in that next race.
The ringer point race is the only race in the match that is chosen by the teams. There are 2 ringer point races in every match, one picked by each team from a set list of races determined prior to the season. Each ringer point race generally features one player, and there is a male and female version of some races depending on the race requirements. The head coach decides whether a male or female will perform the race based on what they feel is the best choice from their roster. There is a catch. A player may only be chosen once for a ringer point in a given season. This resets in the playoffs. This short and intense race allows teams to influence their opponent's performance both in-match and season-wide. Remember, choose your race wisely in the ringer point race.
We are back, friends. If you're just joining us, we're getting ready for that first ringer point. It's going to be 9 burpees to ring. All right, so basically you have to do a burpee, chest to the ground, and touch that ring at the center. As you can see, this is going to be Sam Nally versus Abdul Cabral of the South Beach Palms. This is a very interesting matchup, friends. I know it's kind of hard to tell from the camera, but Abdul is significantly bigger than Sammy Nally here. I made a joke yesterday about him being ginormous, but it's not so much a joke. I saw him earlier stretching, and just him on his knees is the height of me. It was ridiculous. So it's going to be interesting to see how Sam Nally attacks this versus such a big guy as that dude.
Absolutely.
All right, don't blink, friends. This is that ringer point. They have to drop, touch that ring. Oh, very nice control from Sam Nally, just tapping that ring very lightly. Wow, this is amazing. They are absolutely rep for rep. If I can't tell, it's going to come down to the very sprint. Sam Nally just beat a dude brawl for the burpee to
wait,
win.
what happened? Is that real? She
Oh
smoked
my goodness. It's because he has too much swing on his
technique.
Oh,
the tiny mighty Mount won that
goodness. That was absolutely insane. I cannot believe that Sam Nally just beat a player of that size for this element.
She literally set the grid on fire just now. The speed, her technique, like you said, she was just lightly touching the ring just so she can get those points. And that 40 town to finish off, what an amazing performance by her.
This is one of my favorite ringer points, and we will also see this again in the sprint relay because it's so technical. If you just looked at the difference between them, Sam Nally was so much as grazing it with her fingers, while that dude was kind of just touching it where he could, which causes the ring to swing. If the ring is not in the position that you're used to it being at, it's very hard to just make sure that you're touching like the right spot. You could just swing and miss because it's out of control.
Absolutely, and that's what's so fun about a ringer race. Not only is it fast, usually the two athletes that they put on the grid are some of the best on the team, and they're good at this particular race and match. So it was good to see her, and she had hops. She was good. If you can see this in person, I would say by 9 feet maybe, Cassie?
9 feet. Mm-hmm.
Wow, great performance by her.
Great performance. I mean, not that I doubted her, but it seemed such a disadvantage to her, just the size of him. So that was just so exciting. And if you want to rewatch that 5 times, I don't blame you. Go for it. But we're getting ready for that second ringer point. It's going to be 9 ring muscle ups. What do you think about that one?
Well, I'm a body weight guy. I always say that I love seeing people get up and over the bar. So I'm anxious to see how these two athletes perform out here. And as you can see, technicality, specific strategy, all important. Let's see what they bring to the table or to the grid.
Definitely. It looks like the referees are reviewing the last set of ringers, just the last ringer that we did against Sam Nally and Abdul Cabral. Not necessarily sure what exactly the discrepancy may be, but that next ringer that we're looking forward to is the kettlebell overhead squats. That's going to be Valerie Gunning of the Southwest Florida Sharks versus Sam Secord of the South Beach Bombs. Let's go ahead and take it into that 4th camera so we can see those game faces of our friends on the grid here. Looks like there's a little bit of a discrepancy, so we will find out what that is in just a minute.
Sammy went too fast, Cassie. It was unbelievable. They all have that shock. If you see the refs and the commission over, they all have that shock. Like, well, that's what she did. She did it, you know. So
even my producers, I'm looking over. Yeah, I'm amazed that I just catch a look at my producers. I'm like, whoa!
What happened?
That just happened.
It was so fast and quick. Wow, great job by Sammy. I can't wait to watch it myself again. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, I definitely have to rewatch that one a few times. That was fun.
So what are we going to do? While they try to figure this thing out, Cassie, I guess we may do it again, maybe. We'll see. They're trying to discuss some things over here.
We're going to find out in just a minute. I'd love to know myself.
And how are you feeling about Mr. Olympia, the 60th edition of Grid League being here, Cassie? What do you think about it?
I think it's absolutely amazing that we're here with the Mr. Olympia exposition. I think it's amazing that we're able to just be able to be part of something so big.
Yep.
And the fact that our sport gets to be here in our community, I'm so blessed to have our community and who we have here with us, considering what Milton did and how many people weren't able to come here. Their flights were canceled. You know, some people lost their homes, and just the way everybody was able to pick back up was just inspiring, to say the least.
So all the teammates that are on the staff that are at home watching right now, we love y'all. We send in our good energy to you guys, and we'll see you guys in November perhaps, and the championship upcoming.
Absolutely. We'll be back right after a quick break.
I love Element Salt a lot.
Hardcore Element user.
Element's been awesome.
Element.
I've been using Element basically every day. I love it.
I was, back to working out and wanted to make sure that I stayed hydrated because that's so important for your supply.
It was a game changer for me because all through high school and college, I would always cramp. This generally comes from that mineral imbalance. Having Element T, in my training bag keeps me hydrated. It's phenomenal.
It rejuvenates me in the workout. It's what my body craves and it's what it needs after sweating so much. It's definitely helped me get through really long, tough workouts and just give me the energy that I need in order to keep pushing through.
It was that I was afraid.
Oh, wow.
I was afraid of letting go.
Wow.
So I was so scared. Sorry, I can't even remember. But then one day we were training at freaking and at the practice, and Storm was like, if we could have one woman that could do this movement, that would change the whole season for us. He didn't say Paula, but I was like, damn, I have to do this. And then there was nothing on the internet.
Right.
So I asked Andres to send me a video of him doing it, one guy of my team.
Yeah.
So I would look at his video every day, guys, every day.
Wow.
So, and one day I was dreaming, and I just dreamed of myself doing it. I swear, I picture myself doing it. I woke up in the morning, I was like, I'm going to swim in my gym. And I just went straight, warm up, I just did it.
Oh, wow.
That was crazy.
That's crazy.
That was crazy. So yeah, it's more that I was scared of just letting go. But if you keep your core tight, your body up, it's fine. Welcome back, party people. We are still in discussion over that last ringer. It seems that there were 2 faults on the palms that were called, that were correct, but one on the Sharks that was not called. They're going to give Artur Cabral another chance at redemption here. 2 faults were called on the palms that were correct. One of the faults were not called for the Sharks. The commissioner has determined that it would have definitively affected the outcome of the race. So that's why they're going to redo it now. So once again, Artur Cabral versus Sam Nally. Okay? So, I mean, look at his face.
Oh, he has a do-over. He can't take back-to-back L's. I'm just got to keep it 100 with you. This is your chance for redemption.
He is not playing around here. All right, both of them, for that matter. She knows what to do. He, I'm sure, has a better idea of what to do or what not to do. So we're gonna see how this shakes out now. The stakes are a little bit higher today. Remember, this matchup between the Palms and the Sharks are worth double.
Let's see if Sammy has the same performance as she did in the first race. She looks ready to go as well.
Oh man, I got goosebumps for this one. Sam Nally versus Artur Cabral, the sequel over here for this ringer point. Let's see it. Oh no, Sam Nally swung that ring just a bit. All right, we gotta keep an eye here, make sure everybody's touching the rings. They are rep for rep, it's the sprint!
Oh, she's out again!
Oh my goodness!
Who did it? Who got it?
I don't
Sammy
know
again?
who took that. They're gonna have to look at the camera for that one. Oh.
Sorry, Cassie. I got excited. My bad.
No, you're good. Keep on talking. That was insane.
No, and you saw him do the, like he slid into home plate trying to get the win there?
He totally did, because in case you didn't know, back at home, friends, whoever has a body part past the line of the finish first is the one who wins. So they're definitely going to have to take a look at that finish line. Camera commissioner instantly got up. Nobody knows who is the definitive winner here. The Sharks look very happy about the outcome, but Atud also looked very happy. So we're going to have to find out who went past that line first.
Another great race. These are very, very well-matched athletes, and it's like almost like football, how all you got to do is break the plane. Same thing at Grid League. Break that plane at the end of the grid and get that win. We'll see who really brought it out today, though.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be really fun to watch. So we're getting ready for that next ringer. In the meantime, it's going to be 9 ring muscle-ups. We are looking at our friend David Blatt here on the grid, formerly of the Orlando Aces, this season signed with the Southwest Florida Sharks, and he is going to be going against Daniel Lansake. All right, Daniel Lansake, this is his rookie season, and he's proven to be a very key player for the body weight portion of the matches.
Oh yes, this is the body weight specialist again, and for you fitness enthusiasts at home that do muscle-ups, yes, bar muscle-ups are really nice, but ring muscle-ups a little bit different. Actually, a lot different. A lot of different muscles are getting touched and firing off, so let's see how these two athletes perform as well.
Definitely. We saw him do a lot. Sorry, we're going to go to the commissioner. Oh, and it looks like...
She did it again.
It looks like the Sharks did take that
Sammy
one.
did it again. The tiny, mighty might. She did it. Great job by Sammy.
2 times in a row. Hey, some respect on my friend Atud. He was really good. He really fought for it there. He definitely improved since the last one. That's all you can hope to do. You know, just try to do your best. Once again, he is a rookie. This is his first year on the grid. So the fact that he's doing so well against a powerhouse like Sammy Nally, you know, that's not an easy feat.
You know, learning on the job, you know, he knows what he wants to do next time. And perhaps, like you said, when it comes to ringers, the 2 best athletes out of each team are on the grid at that time. So he had a formidable opponent, but great job by him as well.
Absolutely. So getting ready for that next one, it's going to be 9 ring muscle-ups. It's going to be David Blatt of the Sharks once again versus Daniel Lansake of the South Beach Palms. This match is worth double the points at the end towards the differential. Now, let me set the stakes for the differential for you really quick. The South Beach Palms are sitting with +3, right? And the Sharks are sitting with +11. So anything that happens to them at the end of this match will be worth double. So let's say, for example, and I keep on using this example, but I promise I'm knocking on wood, no disrespect. But let's just say that the Sharks win by 10 points. It would actually be worth 20 points. So they would end this regular season with 33 points. Now, if the South Beach Palms lose by 10 points, that would be -20 points, right? So that would be a total of -17 points.
Some high stakes right there, Cassie, the way you broke that down.
That's very high stakes here. So just making sure that we know how important this particular matchup is, especially when we think about what happened with last season between these 2 teams, where Briley Hanson was very upset they had to change the rule book and everything. You can find actually a YouTube video on that. That was from the 2023 season. You can see what happened, how we changed the rules to accommodate so things like that don't happen again. But
yeah, races like this are what set you up for the playoffs. Really put you want to get in the best position to ride for the championship. So very important, like you said, and we're gonna see them get it on here on the Grid League.
Definitely. This could be the difference between going to playoffs and not at, like right now. We could just basically find out at the end of the day here when it's all said and done.
And then the Sharks came in with a bit of a lead points-wise as well. So if they start doubling up along in these matches, look out. They're going to be in great position.
Definitely. So the Sharks are actually coming into this match with the biggest lead out of all of the teams. So they are positive the most points. So it's going to be fun to see.
While you're watching the screen at home, folks, right now on the grid, they're doing some adjusting of the rings, getting ready for the next match. So hold tight, sit back and relax, and enjoy the broadcast.
Yeah, they're just making sure that the rings are the right size here on both sides. It has to be even. You know, if it's hard for you to reach, that's just kind of our standard here. So you're just going to have to reach up and do as best as you can. Try your best. Once again, this is going to be David Blatt of the Southwest Florida Sharks versus the South Beach Palms, Dainier Lansake. One thing that we're doing differently this weekend here in Viva Las Vegas, we're doing 4 ringers per match. We did get rid of the triads yesterday, but today we are bringing them back and getting rid of the echoes. So we are going to see a male-female triad later on during this matchup.
Oh, nice. Nice to see a triad. Triads are cool to see. And for the folks at home, get ready.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Everybody definitely was missing that triad yesterday. I know it'll be hard for people like the Palms who have that sparse roster, but it's going to be a great time to watch.
Stand by. Race.
All right, veteran David Blatt versus rookie Dainier Lansake. Who's going to take it?
They look synchronized almost. They were.
Yeah, getting up there, right? Oh, a lot of swinging from David Blatt, losing control.
Careful up there, careful.
Dainier Lansake started off swinging just a bit, but he was able to control it a bit more. Hand up for both sides. Only 3 reps remaining for Dainier, but struggling just a bit more than Blatt here. Oh no, Blatt took the lead. There's 1 rep remaining for the Southwest Florida Sharks. 1 rep remaining for the Palms. And David Blatt is going to take the ring muscle-ups. Oh.
Coach Gomez, you should see his face right now. He's like, yo, what's going on? He still got that win, though. It was like, I'm sorry, guys. He was trying to figure it out in the middle of the match, and he still had enough cachet to get it done. Yeah,
it looks like he didn't have his shoulders over his wrist there for a second, so they called a fault, and he didn't know before he dismounted, so he had to remount on swinging rings. It was up in the air for a second, Byram. It was anybody's ringer point at that point.
Listen, ring muscle-ups are tough. I can't stress it enough. It's hard, and this is day 2 for these teams. So when they're sending their ringer athletes out there, that's what they do, but it's very tough for them to get through it today, and that was a great win.
Absolutely. This was so much fun to watch. Very eventful first set of ringers, but let's go ahead and look forward to see what that next race is going to be.
The ladder consists of 2 rows of 4 stations of a strength-based element, 1 row for males and 1 row for females. The weight increases as you move down the grid. Teams send out 1 player at a time, alternating male and female, to perform the designated lift for the match format. Each successful lift has a point value that is added to the team's ladder score. The point value is equal to the quadrant the barbell is sitting in. Players are allowed 1 lift attempt per quadrant and may skip any quadrant they choose, but are never allowed to backtrack once a barbell is passed. The team with the highest total point value at the end of the 4-minute time cap wins. This race is one of the most strategic and coach-reliant of all of the races. As a good game plan and in-the-moment decision-making, to manage time is everything. Remember, lift heavier and score higher in the ladder race.
Peachy athletic shorts, guys. Just saying. Looking peachy.
And the peaches are great. They're really stretchy. They're soft. I like the fit. I like the fabric. It makes me just feel more comfortable while I'm working out. I don't have to worry about things coming out.
Love training in these shorts. Love competing in the shorts. They stay put. Got a really nice thick waistband.
They definitely pass the squat test and the booty test. They're really comfortable. Like I could wear them out and I could wear them on the floor. Go get yourself some.
I wish I thought of that. I don't have to twist and wrap and twist and wrap and twist and wrap a million times. I definitely have noticed that Hair Strong has worked.
Take care of my finances? I got plenty of time for that.
I didn't have plenty of time.
Procrastinating on your finances has a way of stacking up. A membership with Facet is a quick and easy first step to get your finances in order.
I'll get to that tomorrow.
Now is the time to take action. Go to Facet.com to get started on your financial wellness journey today.
All right, folks, we're back here at Grid League at the day 2 of the Grid League at the 60th Mr. Olympia. Let's go over the actual factuals of the ladder race here at Grid. Men's weight will be 250, 275, 300, and 325 for the, this is a clean snatch. And also for the women's weight, it is 165, 180, 195, and 210 at the final quadrant. As you can see, the weight gets heavier as the grid progresses. So let's see how these two teams perform at the ladder match.
That's right, Byron. This is one of our heaviest ladders. It's just one clean, not a complex. So that's why we're going so heavy at the end there. That last men's bar is 325 whopping pounds, 210 for the ladies, which is lightweight for the caliber of athletes that we have here. But under the amount of pressure, the amount of fatigue, how fast you have to go down the ladder to let your other teammates go through, anything can happen.
Or like Ronnie Coleman used to say, lightweight, baby.
As long as you can pick it up, it's lightweight. The spirit of the Mr. Olympia Expo that we're at here.
Absolutely.
A lot of fun, a lot of cool events here. Very grateful to be here. And a quick shout out to just our staff and our supporters at home dealing with Hurricane Milton that weren't able to be here. Our E-crew, our referees, our booth people. Just thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting. We wish you were here. In case you didn't know, we're working at about 30% capacity. People have jumped in to help us. The support from our community is just overwhelming. We have head coaches helping to referee and do E-crew. We have loved ones, husbands, wives, who are just trying to help make this sport happen just because they see how much we love it and how much other people love it. So it's very touching to see what support we have.
Yep, and everybody that's here is here on a mission. We're here for our duty, get the job done, perform, put on a great performance, not only on the broadcast, but the athletes themselves, because that's the main thing. And everybody's happy to be here. Just taking a load off, man. Everybody's going through so much, so just to have a few minutes to enjoy ourselves here on the grid is a great thing.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and look into this ladder match. We have a whole bunch of people with their game faces on. Even David Blatt is warming up for this. I love watching him do the lifting because you don't get to see it too often. He's more of a body weight guy. But
I was just about to ask you, strength specialist or body weight?
Oh, he's definitely a body weight guy, but I love to see anybody tackle a ladder.
Oh, man, we're going to see them get it on. Here we go.
All right, here comes Breezy Lanes at the Southwest Florida Sharks. She's opting to go for that first barbell. Briley Hansen skipping straight to the second quadrant. If this is your first time watching a ladder match, whatever quadrant is in is significant because it tells you how many points it's worth. So if you're in quadrant 3, that's worth 3 points. If you're in quadrant 4, it's worth 4 points. Very easy clean from Breezy Loans. It's a false out from Briley Hansen. Not sure what's happening there, that she doesn't usually miss those. This is Cody Rice for the South Beach Palms here. Luis Guillermo Nunez, these are 2 rookies here with their teams for the first year. Luis Guillermo actually travels all the way from Puerto Rico to compete here for the United Grid League, which is awesome. We love an international player.
And keep in mind, Cassie, that the bonus flag is out for the Sharks. So if they win this, they are really trying to dominate the match here. They're trying to get as many points as they can. So whenever that bonus flag comes out, watch out.
Oh, thank you for bringing that to my attention because I didn't even know that. That's absolutely amazing. The Sharks must know that they're pretty safe on this ladder. Jesse Coleman doing that 4th bar like butter. Nick Shappy coming out here. No doubt that he's going to finish this ladder as well. Brandon Schipper out here for the South Beach Palms. We were talking a little bit about him yesterday. He's a competitive water skier, which is not a typical sport, but very cool. I believe he's from Minnesota, but I could be lying. He very easy 4th clean from both gentlemen here on the grid. Jessica Placencia starting at that first bar. We're looking at Jenna Riddle here. Glad to see her back. It's been a while. She competes maybe like once or twice a year here on the grid. Doesn't really compete for the full season, but always happy to help out where need be.
Absolutely, and you'll see some players skip the first 2 grids and go straight to the 3rd or 4th. The heavier weights hold the most points. So they're trying to stack as much as possible, and they all know what they can do and accomplish. So they're going to do the best that they can out here.
Definitely. Marcus Washington going pretty fast through this ladder. I like the speed that he's going at. Joaquin Graham taking his time in between, which I like to, because just to make sure that you're doing those reps correctly, make sure they're nice and neat. That's a fault from Marcus Washington on the palms. Not very typical of him either as a strength specialist. Oh, fault from Joaquin Graham as well. Ooh, a lot of faults happening that don't usually happen.
You know why, Cassie?
It's that pressure.
That's it, and it was a long day yesterday, so they're feeling the fatigue right now. Conditioning is a factor.
Definitely. This match, once again, is worth double the points in case you're just joining us, towards that differential that we will see at the end of the season. Here comes Sydney Witter. This is that last bar for the clean ladder. Pretty easy power clean for her. Very nice. Gabriel Burns over here for the South Beach Palms. This is his second match ever. Yesterday was his first. He actually trains with teammate Cody Rice, who is also a rookie for the Palms this season.
Don't sleep on the rookies out here.
Gabriel Burns with that grimy clean. Very good. Way to work for it. Here comes Roderick Holloway. He actually used to play for the Tampa Bay Brigade, but he's taken a few seasons off. He signed with the Sharks this season. Proven to be getting better and better every single match, moving faster as he can.
It's a lot of clanging and banging going out there, Cassie. This is what Grid League is all about. Just throwing the weights around, just having a bit of fun out there.
Definitely. There's 30 seconds left on the clock. Every team trying to get as many people through as possible. Kristen Bonito here for the Southwest Florida Sharks with a beautiful clean. Great mobility for her. She actually competes in strongman, if I'm not mistaken. She had an injury earlier this year, but seems like she's making a good comeback. Very beautiful
monster.
Fourth clean.
Wow.
And here comes Dainier trying out that fourth bar. Oh, that's a fault from Dainier.
He almost threw his back out.
David Blatt able to finish that first bar.
I'm seeing some athletes grabbing their back out there.
We're looking at Coach Fico Gomez standing right in front of us. He's clapping at his team. He seems very happy with the outcome of this ladder race. Both teams trying as best they can. Faults from both teams for people who usually do finish the ladder. So we will be tabulating that scoring, getting that to you as quickly as possible. But it's just fun to watch a match and not necessarily know who wins for a change, you know? That difference in pace, where you're kind of just watching to enjoy watching people lift instead of counting and waiting until the end. It's very nerve-wracking. I think it adds a lot to the enjoyment of the sport. But we're going to go ahead and take it to my friend Byram Allen on the grid with our friend Joaquin Graham.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Joaquin Graham of the Southwest Florida Sharks, and we just want to ask you, how do you feel about your performance so far with your team?
I feel like we're doing pretty well. I feel this is one of those things where, you know, we're all prepared, we're ready to do it. Most cases, things are going to go right, but if something goes wrong, you're always prepared for the worst, but expecting the best, you know. So it's one of those things where we're just putting our best out there and doing what we got to do.
Now, some people may say you have a stacked squad. You guys are really, really focused out there. How do you avoid consistency for a team who may be championship style?
It's one of those things where we know we all have a job to do, and we're just keep working hard to getting better and improving ourselves. And, you know, we're not going to rest until we win this whole thing.
Now, I know you have some connection to Florida. How are your thoughts? How are you feeling about your people back home, all your friends and family, and why come back to Grid League?
Well, you know, I love Grid League. I love this family team spirit. I love how we're all here competing, and it brings us back to that team competition. And, you know, that's what I love. And growing up doing that, I was always about that. So this is one of those things we're checking in as well with my Florida teammates and family. I want to make sure everybody's doing okay. And we all keep in touch. And, you know, we have a big group chat where we're all just checking in, making sure everybody's, you know, doing well. And we're all doing our best to be here.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for your time. Keep up the good work. All right, we'll be right back.
Element really helps me keep the intensity going.
More than 10.
All right, folks, we are back at Grid League, and we were just informed that the Southwest Florida Sharks took that ringer point, and keep in mind they also had the bonus flag out, so they doubled up on their points. A really big league, and they're firmly in control, the Sharks here at Grid League.
All right, we're getting ready for that second set of ringer points here. I misspoke earlier. I brought up Valerie Gunning and Sam Secord. This is where we're going to see them now. All right, this is going to be the kettlebell overhead squats. Valerie Gunning of the Southwest Florida Sharks versus Sam Secord of the South Beach Palms. Now, these are two ladies who know how to move around the kettlebell. They do not play around with these. So this matchup in particular is, you know, one of dreams.
Absolutely.
So to speak.
Yeah, and again, this is the ringer point race, so both teams are putting their best player out to do this particular element. I always say, you folks out there with bad knees like me, protect your cartilage. They got some good cartilage going on, so we're going to see them get down in that bucket, throw that kettlebell up in the proper position, and let's see them get it on at the Grid League.
It's going to be awesome to watch. Sam Secord versus Valerie Gunning, kettlebell overhead squats. Game face is on.
Stand by.
And they are off. Sprint to the kettlebells. Valerie Gunning was the first one to complete that rep. Got to make sure that you're keeping those elbows locked up and over your head. It looks like both of these ladies are giving a little bit of give here for their elbows. And Valerie Gunning off the kettle.
Oh, the slide.
Oh, that's once again going to come down to that photo finish.
Yeah.
It looks like everybody's happy with their performance. We're going to have to look at the video to see who passed that finish line first.
Man, Commissioner Mal has been doing a lot of walking today, checking that replay.
Oh, he sure has. It's been close, you know, not too much on the Palms. They've been very close every single race.
Yes.
You know, maybe not necessarily taking the W, but getting credit for everything, finishing within 20%, which, as we know, for a ringer, you have to finish within 20% of the time as the other team to even get that 1 point of credit, even if you don't get that 2.
I like how each team have their little, I guess, nuances and technique. That little slide into third base that the Palms have been doing today, very interesting. It can give you just enough of an edge to get the win.
Yeah, I just know that head coach and owner Briley Hansen has been back there like, you better do whatever you got to do to get past that finish line. I'm not playing with you, even if it's just your pinky toe that makes it over the line first.
Wow,
and it looks like the Southwest Florida Sharks did take that race, but no doubt in my mind that the South Beach Palms are getting credit for that. It was so close.
Man, the Palms are coming up just short. Like you said, they're right there. It feels like they're missing one element to their team to put them over the top. Man, the Sharks have a big lead right now. I won't call it insurmountable, but it's going to be tough for the Palms to catch up. We'll see, though.
Definitely, and it's really cool to see them be so competitive against one of the, if not the most competitive team in the league right now. The Sharks have shown an absolutely dominant roster here, winning winning every single match. I don't believe they've had a loss yet. So it's been great.
Yeah, the Sharks are looking real beastie out there. White, what is the shark out there that everyone's scared of? The white, what is it called?
The great white shark?
Yeah, the great white shark. That's what it is. Thank you, Cassie. Yeah, Jaws, man. They're looking beastie out there. Hey, I like how they're performing, and it's looking good out here for Grid.
Definitely. I did like, though, how the South Beach Palms came out for their call out. They were doing a little shark fin, and they were coming out. And they're called the South Beach Palms, so you just know they were thinking like, oh, you're in my beach now.
Yeah, absolutely. But you got it. If you're going to talk it, you got to walk it.
That's right. Absolutely. We're looking forward to this next ringer point. This is going to be 3 Medball muscle-ups into 6 snatches. For the Southwest Florida Sharks, it's going to be Nick Shappy, and for the South Beach Palms, it's going to be Cody Rice. Cody Rice was really excited to be swinging off the bars here. He was telling me how excited he was to be one of the bigger dudes on the bars. So
big guys getting over the bar. Hey, I love that. You already know how I feel about that, Cassie. Now, did you say this was the Medball muscle up?
Yes, this is a Medball muscle up on the bar, and then followed by 6 ground to overhead. So probably they're going to be snatching it.
Now they can't drop that Medball as per usual, right? Or it will not count. Is that correct?
That's correct. If they drop the Medball before they finish the rep, they have to recomplete the rep. It has to be done with the med ball in between the legs, whether it be the ankles or the knees, however you can hold it in between your legs.
All right, let's see how they give it up out here.
Yeah, that's an especially hard one because you have to mount with the med ball in between your legs, and you're kind of swinging, using your legs for the momentum in the movement in the first place, and making sure that you're keeping a 10-pound ball in between your legs.
So it's not only a physical element, but it's also mentally you have to be locked in, because if you lose any type of focus, you'll drop that ball and it's like, oh, it's over. It's a quick ringer, so you have no room for error.
Absolutely. It's a very mental game here.
Absolutely.
You know, there's a lot of moving pieces that you have to be mindful of the entire time.
To see an amazing display of athleticism and strength. 30 seconds.
30 seconds out from the start of this race. Once again, that's Nick Shappy, veteran of the Southwest Florida Sharks, and Cody Rice, rookie of the South Beach Palms. A lot of rookies doing ringer points today, but we're gonna see what they can pull out here. South Beach Palms so far have been really close to taking the W's. We've had to re-look at the camera multiple times here. And that's a sprint to the bar. Both of them at the same time. Oh my goodness. Oh, Shappy dropped the ball. Cody Rice was able to complete one rep ahead of Nick Shappy. Drop from Cody Rice now. They are so close. One rep remaining here. Nick Shappy able to finish ahead of Cody Rice on that. Already 2 reps in, 4 reps remaining. Oh my goodness, this might be a Shark Fest once again.
Easy money.
Nick Shappy taking it very comfortably for the Southwest Florida Sharks here. Cody Rice not too far behind for the South Beach Palms.
Monster performance. Even with the drop of the med ball, he was able to shake off that fall and still get the win. Great job. Great job on
I
Sharks.
was just about to say that usually people are kind of shaken up, especially for that first rep to mess up something like that. But he was able to recover. Cody Rice, you know, had the same thing, was able to recover just as fast. It just came down to how fast, you know, you were able to come off of that movement.
Absolutely. He was hungry, so you already know what he did, Cassie.
He finished his breakfast.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, friends. Well, let's go ahead and look forward to that next race here.
Jack and Jill features 3 stations of high-level body weight-based elements that increase in difficulty moving down the grid. 1 male and 1 female are allowed on the grid at any given time, and only 1 player can be working at a time. The team can only move on to the next station when the previous station is complete. This race is the simplest when it comes to rules, but the most reliant on player skill and speed, as the hyper-specialists often make the difference in the race. Remember, let the bodyweight ninjas fly in the Jack and Jill race.
Watching grid in person is a totally different experience. We get the comment all the time that it's the best sporting experience they've ever been to. So a lot of different people come to watch grid, and a lot of people enjoy grid. I've used a lot of different types of ticketing platforms. People who come to our website to purchase tickets don't have to use a different link. They aren't taken off of our website. It all feels very seamless, and we hardly ever have lines because it's just a quick pull the ticket up on your phone. Our staff can scan it. It saves all the data that we need, and it's a really quick and easy check-in process, which was really, really important to us. We've been using Ticket Tailor for at least 5 years, and I don't think we're ever going to switch.
So I got the invitation to come out and try the soft wave therapy. And I've done a couple different, and it's been very successful so far. I've never had any physical therapy that I've gone to where you can almost immediately notice some effects of it. Normally it's, you know, multiple weeks or months of going and getting your treatment before you start to feel any relief in those problem areas. With even just the couple of sessions I've done with soft wave, it's not, you can feel it immediately. It's not a night and day difference, but you can start to tell you're taking steps in the right directions towards recovery.
All right, right, folks, welcome back to day 2 of Grid League at the 60th Mr. Olympia. Let's go over the actual factuals of the Jack and Jill. We have 1 male and 1 female working together from each team on the grid. The first workout or element is toes to bar, 50 of those. 30 ring muscle ups and 5 back up rises. So we have a lot of elements put together there. Let's see how these teams compete on the grid.
It's going to be really exciting to see. The Southwest Florida Sharks are actually missing a few key bodyweight people. Not that they can't do it with the people that they have, but the South Beach Palms have shown to be very close in stature so far today. So it's going to be exciting to see how they pull it out. All right, that's Gabriel Burns and Brielle Macchiarelli for the South Beach Palms. Sam Nally and Nick Shappy are our Southwest Florida Sharks couple here at the same time. What they're doing is called waterfalling, right? So people can only compete 1 rep at a time. When you see waterfalling, you see how they're doing it 1 at a time? You're counting your screen. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the Sharks, you see? So they could only complete it 1 at a time. If they broke rhythm and they did it at the same time, it would not count.
Listen, I'm just looking at the actual exercise. I'm enjoying watching these athletes perform. Do you know how your core feels after just 10 of those? They're doing 30 between each of them. So this is high-level performance, high-level athletic capacity and athletes.
It definitely is. And here we're going to see 30 ring muscle-ups. I'm sure David Blatt is going to tap out and tag in Chelsea Rainieri at some point. But it's definitely amazing to see the progression of these athletes and how many they can do unbroken. I mean, this is something that you will never see at a regular gym.
Absolutely not. And also realize that the referees are looking for specifics and techniques. So they can't, be up on the rings, back too far. They have to be up and over the rings, not too much momentum, and they have to be competing at the highest level up there.
Definitely. Heather Hudson was doing great on those rings. And if you look at Chelsea Rainieri, very controlled there as well. Roderick Holloway and Cody Rice, bigger dudes flying through the air right now. They're one of the stronger dudes on their team. So crazy to see them just fly through the air and be so utility,
Utility, absolutely. I like that.
There's no better word for it than the words that we have here. Our terminology is the best way that you can explain it. Almost done here for the Southwest Florida Sharks. Just 3 reps remaining. Cody Rice over there finishing off those last few reps. Little fault there. Chelsea Rainieri taking over, and David Blatt is going to go ahead of the South Beach Palms for those 5 back up rises. Look how he just drops himself into those. So easy. Yeah. It's just going to be a quick little jog to the finish line here.
Easy
Jenna
money.
Riddle right behind him. She didn't even have to pick anything up, and the Southwest Florida Sharks win that one very easily. Yes. Now the South Beach Palms have 40 seconds left to complete all of their reps for this. Briley Hansen literally talking to her referee while she's completing reps. I'm not sure if she knew why exactly she was being faulted. 28 seconds for them to still be able to get some kind of credit here.
Yeah, and it's looking like they're coming up close about to get these points. They're trying to finish within that time, and because they don't want to just waste all this energy on these rings. That's some hard work up there, so hopefully they can get to it. They're still working right now, and she's trying to get, oh, he's about to.
Oh, 8 seconds left, and he had a fault. He has to finish.
Ah!
And they are not going to finish.
My goodness gracious.
Briley Hansen, not sure what the problem was with that fault.
Yeah, she is not happy right now.
Oh, they are not happy at all. It looks like the South Beach Palms are not going to get credit for that race. It looks like they may have to re-look at the footage and find out what happened there. But
yeah, man, the Palms, they're really trying hard out there. They really have the heart of a lion, but sometimes you just come up short. All you can do is just stack points. Move on to the next match and see how well you can perform out there.
Definitely. We're going to find out what happened there in just a second. In the meantime, we'll be right back looking into that next race.
The Triad is the only race in which there is a male and a female version performed separately. It consists of 5 elements, each with 3 stations that must be completed individually. 3 players can be on the grid at any given time. All players can perform at any station and in any order. but all of the designated reps must be performed at each station. All 3 stations of each element must be complete before the team can move on to the next element. The Triad is all about player conditioning and managing fatigue across the team. The best strategy ensures players have enough left in the tank for the last element and has backup plans for when things inevitably go wrong. Remember, try to catch your breath in the Triad race.
My goal to recruit this year was not to get rookies, was to get people with experience to come into our team and make us better. So me as a new head coach coming in, my goal is to come for the championship. So getting this key ingredient, we just need a few more pieces to come into our team and probably take us to a next level. So when I saw a good athlete, I just kind of, hey, reach out. I'm a fan of the sport before I was anything else. I hate when I see good players just kind of losing enthusiasm for grid. Usually it's not because they don't like the sport. So I waited obviously after the deadline to re-sign was, and then I saw who was not re-signed. And I was like, oh, this is an extremely good player. Hey, let me shoot a message. Each player was a little bit different. The first one was Sydney Witter. She used to play for the Tampa Bay Brigade. She's an extreme athletic person. She's actually training for an Ironman, so just think about the versatility of that. She might be an Ironman finisher, plus a grit player. That's kind of unreal, so extreme.
I've never felt more as a team than I have with this group of people. We come together, we're like a big happy family. No one's out, everyone's just in it to win it.
Good athletes, she can pretty much do everything on grid. We have Kristen Crenshaw, that she came from the Venom. Really good athlete, but her main strategic advantage is she's actually on the shorter side, very good on her hands and squatting, so she can do thrusts very fast. She might be the best handstand pushers in the league. Jessie Coleman, a specimen.
Fins up, baby! I am now a shark. They scoop me right in, and I love it. I'm excited.
She's super strong, but also with her gymnastics background can do a lot of things.
In the black, Coleman in the green, Coleman, Simpson to the bar at the same time. And the Sharks leading with one cleaner jerk, crossing into the finish line. Coleman taking it from Simpson.
I don't think I'd be as healthy as I am and ready in terms of like season or during season without the team. Especially because there's a lot of high skill movements in grid, so they help keep my body healthy, they help me recover faster, especially when I have like little aches and pains or I get tight. And it's just been super, super helpful, whether it's everyday life or when I'm in season.
You're more energized, you're more relaxed, you're more ready to hit a hard workout. Recovery happens at night when you cleanse your body and you get ready for bed and you get ready for the next day. So it helps me get into that state of calmness. So I feel less fatigued, I feel relaxed, I feel less inflammation when I wake up in the morning. So your recovery's here, but then you take early bird and your recovery goes to here. So it just elevates the recovery. It helps you then perform better the next day. So you need it. It's almost a necessity. It's part of my routine. It's part of my nightly routine. It helps people. It really helps people. Early bird all the way.
All right, folks, welcome back to day 2 of a grid league at the 60th Mr. Olympia, and we just want to show love to Valor Fitness for providing all of the equipment here, the barbells, the dumbbells. We also have gold plates and also yellow plates, right? Is that purple plates? That's purple plates.
Purple plates, that's right, Byram. Yeah, big shout to Valor Fitness. Everything you see here on the grid is provided by them. Amazing sponsors. Hopefully they weren't too affected being Florida-based with Hurricane Milton.
Absolutely. So let's get ready for the Triad, the women's version. We got dumbbell burpee clusters at 30 pounds. We got box jump overs at 20 pounds at 24 inches. We got the 6-inch pistol stick jump overs and rope climbs for, at 12 inches and 15 cleans at 150 pounds. Try to say that real fast, Cassie.
I know, you were under a lot of pressure there. Good job for that one. We're looking forward to this female triad, especially because both teams, of course, are not working at their full capacity, but especially the Palms historically work with a very sparse roster. They have almost no substitutions, so they are working at a diminished capacity. Shout out, by the way, to Amber Bose of the South Beach Palms. She's the one all the way to the left for the Palms in that Vice City blue. She actually broke her nose on Heather Hudson's shoulder yesterday during that partner forward, and she decided to just put it back together and come back out here and crush it. She actually did that ladder right after breaking her nose, so very impressive on her part. Both of these ladies, the Lady Sharks and the Lady Palms, are both rep for rep, almost moving to the next quadrant at the exact same time. Really good strategies and communication here from head coach Fico Gomez. The Palms are also at a disadvantage, and Briley Hansen is also coaching and playing at the same time, so there's not a lot that she could tell her team since she's not able to stand on the side of the grid and yell.
Now, grid is probably one of the few action sports where you can be both coach and player, and you can compete at the highest level. So shout out to Briley Henson.
Absolutely. The South Beach Palms have a pretty comfortable lead after these pistol stick jump overs. Looks like they're going to be making it to that rope climb first. It's going to be 12 feet of rope climbs. They're already pretty comfortably ahead here of the Lady Sharks. And man, I think they need this win. Once again, in case you're just joining us, every single point matters because it's worth double today towards the point differential at the end. Right now, the South Beach Palms are down by 8 points. They have to close that gap as much as possible for the rest of this one. There is one rope climb left for the South Beach Palms, 2 left for the Southwest Florida Sharks on this last rope, and it looks like the South Beach Palms are moving on to the barbell first. Jessica Placencia absolutely crushing it, saving her energy for this female triad. Triad is killer. It's only females. You know, you have to make sure that you have 3 ladies that can do anything on the grid at the exact same time. It's really important. It's critical. Every moment matters. Hands up are in the air for the South Beach Palms.
So we got utility players going in there. It looks like these ladies are ending this race strong. The Palms are ahead of them a little bit. The Southwest Florida Sharks are steady, looking like a well-oiled machine right now, and looks like they're trying to finish this thing strong, Cassie.
One finger up in the air for the South Beach Palms.
Oh,
the Palms are going to take the female triad.
Yes, that's what the Palms team needed. Look at the excitement as they come down to greet their teammates. Just for camaraderie purposes, you want to see the win, at least one win. It's like when you're playing basketball and you have a bunch of misses and you finally get one to go. Maybe they'll go on a tear now as far as wins. Great win by the Palms.
Absolutely. That was an amazing showing from both teams. The South Beach Palms probably really needed that for morale and for point purposes. For that matter, you know, so after just coming off that loss. So it's exciting stuff happening right now, friends, and it's only getting more exciting as we're going to see the male triad coming up soon. We'll be right back.
We about to die, both of us, out here in the sands of Miami.
I'm so nervous. I'm never usually this nervous, and I'm super nervous.
This event is called High Rocks. This is the Miami one. It's a little bit different. Usually it's indoors. This one's out on the sand, on the beach. So
in total, it's 5 miles of running, but in between every 1,000 meters, there's an event of some sort. So like a sled push, sled pull, a ski, a row, burpees, lunges. Like there's a bunch of different stuff you have to do in between a bunch of runs.
It's outdoors. It's hot. It's like over 80 degrees here. So I'm nervous. I'm gonna fall over and cramp and have like an array of muscle cramps all over my body. So hopefully Element saves me today.
Like I'm getting nervous. I want to go look at things and like we're done.
Walking, nervous, cramping, water.
Y'all are gonna die today. It's gonna be a fun day.
Oh my God.
All right, folks, we are here with Briley Henson of the South Beach Palms. Thank you so much. And we just want to ask you about the resilience of your team, because it seems to be you guys are right there trying to get over the hump. Talk to us about the performance.
Yeah, I mean, we just have players. They have fresher players than us, so it's really what it comes down to. We've played the same girls all weekend, and they have more hops than us. They're fresh, we're not.
I know, that's what it comes down to, fatigue. So how are you going to fight through the fatigue, try to get through and perform your best on these matches?
Gonna do our best. It comes down to double point spread right here, so just do our best.
Now, one thing I always ask, as a player coach, you've been around Grid League a long time. Why do you keep coming back and competing?
I've just been competing since I was 4 years old, so it's part of my nature. Born and raised competitor, so it's hard to stop.
Say no more. Thank you for your time, Briley Henson. Great job. We'll be right back.
We're all sports vehicles to some degree as athletes, and it's about what kind of gas you put in the tank. Heart and Soul is definitely a game changer. I can't imagine going back after taking a supplement like this.
And welcome back. We're getting ready for that male triad. What we have here are those dumbbell burpee clusters at 50 pounds, the box jump overs at 30 inches, 6-inch pistol stick jump overs, rope climbs to 15 feet, and finally we're finishing off with 15 cleans at 185 whopping pounds.
So it's going to be a similar run as you saw in the female triad. Just going to see the guys get it on out here. Heavier weights, we're going to see them get up over those boxes. I love watching these guys jump over those boxes. They all have different styles and ways that they do it. So let's tap in and see how they give it up.
Definitely. We saw Nick Shappy last match in Valor Fitness. He basically revolutionized the step overs or the jump overs with the dumbbells in his hands. He was like weighed down by 100 pounds and just floating over the box. It was absolutely insane. So everybody here has hops, so it's going to be exciting to see what they can pull out here. Big win for the Palms there. I know they were really happy to finally be able to close that gap just a teeny tiny bit, even if it's just by 1 point, because once again, everything here is worth double the points.
Absolutely.
So this could be the end of their season, or they could still have a shot. And they're going to fight tooth and nail just as they have been all the time.
And we just heard from Briley Henson, listen, they're behind the 8 ball as far as bodies. They just don't have it. So they just have to power through. We're rooting for them. And that's how it is at Grid League. You can't give up. Try to get as many points as you can, and we're going to see them put in their best foot forward.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and take a look at the grid. We're looking at the South Beach Palms versus the Southwest Florida Sharks. Only 2 matches to go. Right now, we're looking at the scores. That's a score of 10 for the Palms, 17 for the Southwest Florida Sharks. Now, when we look at the theoretics, there's still a chance that the South Beach Palms could come out and get some kind of tie here for their team, right? And maybe take it into a gridlock situation. But, you know, that's only one outcome out of many. So we're really trying to close that gap for them. The Southwest Florida Sharks, trying to keep them as far away as possible. When we look at the time that they're finishing each match, they're very close to the Sharks every single time. You know, it's not like they're far behind. They're not getting blown out of the water. They're always just that tiny bit far away.
I feel like you said, it just comes down to bodies. You know, they are a well-oiled machine as well, a very veteran team, and Briley's has that team performing at the highest level as possible, but sometimes you're missing a few cylinders. I mean, there's a difference between a V8 and a V12.
Definitely. We have those referees coming down the line, once again, full of head coaches, full of people who normally do equipment, people who, you know, run the booth. Great community of people we have here, ready to step it up. Sophia Davenport there in the middle, Coach Bear there from the Daytona Beach Venom there in the middle. So it's going to be a great time. We're going to see the males go against the males this time. Let's go ahead and look at those game faces. 20 seconds on the clock. Atul Cabral doing a little Mr. Olympia show of his own there on the grid.
Referees ready. Players ready. Stand by. Race.
And the men are off. off. This is 7 dumbbell burpee clusters at 50 pounds. They gotta make sure their chest touches that dumbbell. They gotta fall below the plane of, below parallel.
Absolutely.
To make sure that they establish that it was a clean going all the way down, and make sure they extend their elbows at the top. Let's see who's the first to come off of these dumbbells, and it looks like the Sharks are the first ones to put those dumbbells down. Chalking Graham, first one to the bar. 1 rep remaining for Luis Guillermo. Chalking Graham already starting. Oh no, sorry, 3 reps remaining for Luis Guillermo. The South Beach Palms are able to take it away. Oh no, not necessarily sure what's going on there. Maybe his hands were a little bit too far out to the side for those cleans. Maybe not the wrist over the shoulder, but the South Beach Palms have a very comfortable lead here.
Absolutely. Hey, listen, we're going to see the Palms are not giving up. They're not giving up. They're putting their best foot forward. Let's see if they can continue from that last win from the last match.
Definitely a little misgroove here with the Palms, trying to figure out where to position their bodies since the sticks are so close to each other. And these are all pretty big men. The Southwest Florida Sharks are finishing up their reps on the box, and the South Beach Palms are already on the road. Cody Rice, Marcus Washington, and Brandon Shipper. David Blatt trying to catch up, do as many as he can on those pistol stick jump overs. Nick Shappy, Luis Guillermo is back over here. Maybe it's because he's just so tall, it's hard to see how he gets below parallel, but there were some faults there for Luis Guillermo in that first quadrant.
Now,
already.
Oh, sorry, Cassie, go ahead.
Already on the rope climbs, trying to catch up to the Palms.
I was just going to ask about substitutions, because I'm seeing some of the players on both teams run back to the start line. Are they able to substitute liberally on this particular element?
So they are able to sub out only for men, of course, because it's the male triad.
Right.
So there can only be 5 active players on the roster at a time, so they are working with the same 5 males in and out.
Understood.
Yes, so the South Beach Palms are already moving on to the barbell. No hands up in the air as of yet, but the Southwest Florida Sharks, that was some serious time missing for them. They have to finish these cleans as quickly as they can. 185 pounds. Hands are up for the South Beach Palms.
And you see the Sharks, they're bent over, they're tired. Man, this is some heavyweight. Listen, the utility players are getting a workout right here, these elements. This is not easy. Looks like they're neck and neck right now, and we're going to see who's going to pull it out at the end. Hands are in the air. Let's see how they finish up here, folks. Is that
Definitely.
The Palms winning that there?
2 reps remaining for the Palms. And it looks like the South Beach Palms are going to take both triads strolling to the finish line.
You see, they're on a tear now, Cassie.
They needed it. They needed it. There are 56 seconds remaining for the Southwest Florida Sharks to finish here. And it looks like they're struggling with the touch and go here. David Blatt's fresh in, so he's able to pick it up a little bit. But Luis Guillermo is fatigued.
Yeah.
You know, there's only the same 5 men that can do everything, and maybe some of them weren't as good as the hops. So that'll really tire out your legs going into these heavy barbells.
Absolutely. The resilience of the Palms. Just wow. They could have given up. They could have let everything get to them. But their morale, as you mentioned, is up. It's on a high level right now. And we're going to see here if the Sharks are finishing up, and they just finished up just now.
Definitely. They finished with just 18 seconds remaining. So the Sharks did lose both of those triads, but did get credit for them. The South Beach Palms, I'm sure, are very happy with those wins, considering how badly they needed to close that point differential. Once again, everything is worth double the points. The stakes are much higher. Emotions are much higher. People are more upset about things that wouldn't even faze them as much before.
Absolutely.
So, emotions are high, things are high. We're definitely going to look forward to that next race, which is the sprint relay. Let's look forward to it.
The sprint relay is the final race of every match and is worth an extra point for the race win. It is a relay race with 1 player allowed on the grid at a time and 8 elements to perform. Any player can perform on any element, and substitutions can happen at any time, except when a player performs the last rep of an element. In that case, the player must run back to the start line, perform a 4-point touch behind the start line, and sprint through to the finish line, permanently leaving the race. The next player may enter once the previous one has crossed the finish line. The only exception is the distance element that ends at the finish line with no sprint back required. The catch is, 4 men and 4 women must finish the 8 elements. The sprint relay is a great balance of strategy to decide which players in what order are the best combination, along with clean and well-executed elements by the players, to lead to the best race outcome for the team. Remember, 4 men and 4 women must finish the 8 elements in the sprint relay.
My fiance comes from a family of cattle farmers, and we understand the importance of supporting local agriculture and also how much work and effort it takes to properly raise good quality meat. I choose Grassroots because when we look at the packages, we see that it's been produced here in the United States, that it's grass-fed and finished, and even just looking at the meat and the quality of the meat in the package, you can tell by that deep red color that it's been raised correctly on regeneratively farmed lands and that it's a good quality cut of meat.
All right, here we go. We're doing a thumb war tournament to see which Briley is cooler. Sponsored by JerkFit. Loser.
3, okay.
Round 2, fight.
It's grippy.
Yeah, it's sticky.
Final round, fight.
How long is it? 2, 3, got it. Winner takes all.
Shoot.
All right, there we go. It's the palms. That's right.
All right, welcome back to day 2 of Grid League at the 60th Mr. Olympia. Let's go over the actual factuals of the final race of the morning, the sprint relay. We have deck to pistols, 20 in the first quadrant. We have toes to bar, 16. We have 12 40-pound dumbbell thrusters. We have 8 ring muscle-ups that must be completed. Double kettlebell overhead walking lunge at 53 pounds. Burpee jump over a 24-inch box. 4 rope climbs and 270-pound clean and jerks. There will be 8 movements, a mix of body weld and barbell. 4 males and 4 females must finish the movements.
That's right. There can only be 1 person on the grid at a time. Once they finish the movement, they have to go back to the start line, 4-point touch, and then run all the way to the finish line. Of course, unless, of course, it's a movement that you just have to go all the way to the finish line, just like that walking lunge, which is actually one of my favorite things to see, as well as the ring muscle-ups here. So it's going to be a fun one. This is a fun sprint relay to watch, and both of these teams are very hungry. The sprint relay, in case you didn't know, is worth a total of 3 points. There's still 1 bonus flag that has not been used yet, so that's still on the table. If I were either of these teams, I don't know if I would risk it, just because everything is worth double unless you absolutely know that you are going to win.
Yes.
You know, that's the difference between the playoffs or not going to the playoffs potentially. So right now the score is 18 for the Sharks and 12 for the South Beach Palms. That's a difference of 6. So right now the Palms would be -12 for the differential. Ooh. And the Sharks +12. So that's a very big difference there, very big gap. This is worth a lot of marbles. Getting ready for it. Game face is on. Let's see it. We're starting off with 20 deck to pistols. I love how they just like stand right next to the finish line and drop right next to it, right where the start line is. You never know if they're gonna switch out for somebody, just like they just did for Briley Hansen. You can see she started completing the reps. Very quick tag by Amber Bose there, who is working with a broken nose. Just for those of you just joining us, Chelsea Rainieri jumping in with Nick Shappy to do that. When you stay close to the start line, you ensure that you're able to move quickly, hit that 4-point touch when you finish so that you can run to the finish line as quickly as you can. Hands up for in the air for both teams. 1 rep remaining for Chelsea Rainieri, 4-point touch, and the Southwest Florida Sharks are getting off the grid first. All right, that second element is going to bring in Valerie Gunning. This is 16 toes to bar. All right, she's pretty fresh. She's been doing a lot of the heavy lifting today. But not so much the gymnastic stuff. They have people who maybe are better suited for that one. So she's doing as many as she can right now. One hand up in the air for Valerie Gunning. 3 reps remaining, 2 reps remaining, and Valerie Gunning is going to be the first off the bar. Heather Hudson coming in for the South Beach Palms. Very little players, so she's able to quickly hit her toes onto the bar, which is always fun to watch. Sydney Witter coming out for the Southwest Florida Sharks. That's 12 dumbbell thrusters at 40 pounds. I know she's been waiting for this one. She loves to get her playing time. That's why she moved to the Southwest Florida Sharks from the Tampa Bay Brigade. I was speaking to her earlier. She's always excited to do a little bit more than she was able to and showcase her talents.
Now, I will say this is what it comes down to, the depth of the teams that are on the grid. You know the Sharks have a few more bodies than the Palms, so this is where you leverage your depth, you know what your athletes can do, and you put them in the best position to win. So we're going to see how everything shakes out.
Absolutely. Sam Secord with the really fast sprint to the finish line. Meanwhile, David Blatt has already started those 8 ring muscle-ups, hand in the air, just a few reps left. Briley Hansen coming off, trying to control those straps to make sure that she does some clean reps there in the air. David Blatt with the 4-point touch, and he is out of there.
Now, you can't forget about that 4-point touch, because if you don't get that touch, the reps don't count. So details do matter here.
Definitely. We have Luis Guillermo Nunez coming out with the kettlebell overhead walking lunges. That's going to be 2 53-pound kettlebells in each hand for him. He has to make sure that those elbows are locked out, but he has not the best mobility here. So the judges really have to pay attention to his elbows here. That's why they took him back that half step. Cody Rice looking very solid for the South Beach Palms. Cody Rice able to make up a lot of time for the South Beach Palms. Luis Guillermo struggling just a bit with the mobility aspect of this movement.
Yeah, he's a big guy trying to get down in that bucket on those knees, and that's 40 pounds you got over your head on both arms. I got to tell you folks, for all the fitness enthusiasts, this ain't no joke, man. Look at what these athletes are doing. Where in the world else are you going to see something like this?
Cody Rice able to make up some serious time for the South Beach Palms here. Marcus Washington first to the box against Sam Nally. We know Sam Nally has those hops. Do not play with her. That's 10 burpee box jump overs, a 24-inch box. It's going to be the same for male or female, because this is sprint relay. Hands up in the air for both players. Marcus Washington with a fault.
Wow.
Making him come back to do more reps. The Sharks are able to take back their lead here. That was a critical mistake for Marcus Washington to miss that fall. Sam Nally able to make up some time for her team. Nick Shappy is coming for the 4 rope climbs.
Oh man, the Palms are laboring right now. They got some work cut out for them.
Abdul Cabral coming out for the South Beach Palms. Let's see if they can make up that timing that they need. Abdul is a big guy. He's got to finish these as quickly as he can. 2 fingers up for the Southwest Florida Sharks. 2 fingers up for the South Beach Palms. They are making up some time here. The crowd is going absolutely crazy. We have a Deadpool in the crowd. We have a Spider-Man in the crowd. Watching this go down, everybody is out of their seats to the sprint.
Here we go.
And it's going to come down to the 2 clean and jerks at 275 pounds. Roderick Holloway from the Southwest Florida Sharks versus Brandon Shipper of the South Beach Palms. 1 rep remaining for both. Brandon Shipper off the bar first. It's going to come to the sprint.
The 40 times. Here we go. Run,
it looks like the South Beach Palms are going to take the sprint relay.
What a win. Shout out to the South Beach Palms for that. What a way to end the match.
That was,
great call, Cassie. Great call, Cassie.
I'm catching flies, friends. That was insane. I cannot believe the comeback that the South Beach Palms have had here.
Yep. Talk your talk, boy. Talk your talk. Way to finish up strong, Palms. We told y'all that team has heart. They got that dog in them, and they showed it right there at the end of the sprint relay.
That was absolutely amazing. The resilience of the South Beach Palms to go against such a dominant team. I'm sorry for your ears back home. You gotta love the sport, man. This was absolutely amazing to watch. They were able to close the differential significantly. Of course, the points will be worth double in the end. Unofficially, that score is going to finish off with 19 for the Sharks, and I believe it's going to be 15 for the South Beach Palms. That's a differential of, I believe, 6 points, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, I apologize. You can find the actual results on our Instagram a little bit later or in just a second when we update that score. But an amazing showing from both teams.
Competitive. Very competitive first match of the day, Cassie. I enjoyed it. You never know what you're going to get at Gridley. You can think one team is going to have a lead and win, but you never know. You got to keep pushing. Shout out to the Palms. Great job by the Sharks.
Excellent job from both teams. Thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, that match was worth double than the original. So if the differential was 4, it's 8 points difference there. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all our staff, the people back at home. Please join us at 12:15 for our next matchup. In the meantime, I'm Cassie Martinez.
And I'm Byram Allen.
We'll see you at 12:15.